Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So dear Dharma practitioners, through this meditation practice, we try to develop the clarity in our mind. It's not kind of like we don't have any desire to manipulate our mind, or we don't look for something outside, or there is no any kind of miracle going to happen. So we always trying to develop the clarity inside our mind. So what is this clarity? You may heard this word and nowadays with this meditation, and the people talk about the clarity everywhere. It's kind of like a mantra, and it became a very marketing word, and everybody look for this. So what is the clarity? And catch this and remember this very carefully and reflect on it again and again, and try to get into the bottom of that meaning. So the clarity means ability to see. So that seeing means not only by eye. That is very important. So whatever the perception come to you through your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and forget about the mind for the moment. If you become complete with these five, and naturally you're going to see the mind. So that's why we're not going to mention it. It's kind of like when you say the top of the mountain, you no need to talk about the landscape. So like that, just be very limited to the five faculties with the eye, ear, nose, tongue, body. The perception come to you from outside. Ability to see. So that means that all the five perception, ability to see without any tinted mind. So the tinted, that you know that the sometimes people cover the glass with the kind of like a tinted sticker. Then you cannot see what is happening inside, or maybe you don't see, like especially vehicles or the windows. So without covering the perception from the ideas, or whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, the perception without any contamination, without any contaminated mind from love, fear, anger, hatred, jealousy, like, dislike, like that preconditioned mind. If you able to see the perception as it is, that is what called clarity. There's nothing else. But even sometimes regarding the clarity, about the meaning of the clarity, maybe you have a contaminated idea. Then you're not going to find it. Because sometimes the truth, as truth, people have different ideas. So sometimes the happiness, ask from 10 people, and what they talk about the happiness. And it happened to the God also. And you know there are different kind of versions regarding the God. See, it happened to the God also, that the people have their own version of God. So to the clarity, you cannot have that. That's why you have to understand. Sometimes as a clarity, if you have a very contaminated idea, then you're not going to get it. So then you have to come to the very pure level of perception and accept it and see it. So once it comes to that, you're going to see things as it is. So that is what the tranquility meditation does. Not to take you out of kind of like a different experience, not to kind of like take you to any kind of mental manipulation, no, not to take you there, or not to bring something very weird experience to you. Remember that. In case when you practice meditation, rather than experiencing the sensation or the perception, if something experience yourself, then you have to bring the attention, because when sometimes when the attention disappear, very weird things can happen. It's a very simple, the mind is so tricky and mind is so smart. And sometimes imagine, you may experience, some people see dreams, and then when they wake up, they talk about the dream, and they and sometimes they go and search about the dream. They ask from others regarding the dream. So that's mean they are still in a dream, because you saw a dream. Get it very carefully. You saw a dream, and then you wake up. And once you wake up, you start to think about the dream. So that means you are still in the dream. You are not separate from, if you are able to understand it is a dream, you just release from it and then move forward. See, that is the way the mind play. So then when it comes to the real moment of experience, you have to have a certain mental ability, strength, clarity, that the clarity and the faith regarding that what you experience. Of course, you have it. You always have, remember, when you come to this human world, you always have the faith, energy, confidence, trust. So you all have this, and the awareness. It is not something you gain from outside. Only thing is this, all the faith. Even just imagine, if you drink a beer, alcohol, cigarette, even if you take drugs, if you go clubbing, if you go for dancing, even if you go and eat somewhere, even you have an affair, and even you have a double affair regarding, somebody else, and then you have another affair. So still you have a faith regarding that. Otherwise you cannot do. There is nothing going to come out of the human mind without the faith. Even you go to war, even you stealing, even you go to war, even you that killing somebody, even you suicide, it's happened everywhere. So you have the faith regarding that. That's why you go for it, because the very nature of the mind, without the faith or the confidence, the mind doesn't go that way. The thing is, we have the faith regarding the wrong things, unprofitable things. So that's why the right faith means that when you able to start to develop the trust, the confidence, conviction, and when you invest your energy regarding profitable things, and then your path going to become more and more profitable for you. So the meditation is a method. Slowly, little by little, you start to transform yourself, that whatever the faith that you have. So everybody have that. And then you little by little, you transform it. It is not you bringing from somewhere. It is already in you. Energy, it's always in you. Look at from life, from birth to now, how much energy you spend for different things. It's not easy, especially having a lay life. You have to be strong. If you become physically weak, you cannot maintain this life. So then, for what you invest your energy? For what you invest your confidence? For what you invent your conviction? For what you invest your faith? Have you got the result? So you have to look yourself. If not, you have to change it. But the thing is this, what we does, we slowly replace something. We didn't get it. Then we replace it. We replace it to something. But there is something out of this all. Once you start to merge, harmonize with this natural existence, the nature, which we call as reality, once your effort, once your energy, once your conviction, once your trust, once your discipline start to merge and start to harmonize with that, there is no profitable or unprofitable outcome going to happen. That is where really you're going to get the happiness according to the Buddha. So remember, they are saying that one idiot, and doing the bad things went to hell. Ignorance person doing bad things went to hell. And one idiot or the ignorance person doing good things went to heaven. So the both, reach to a place doing something. And out of that, what they do, out of that result, they gain something. But is it possible for you to do an action, your bodily, verbally, mentally action? Can you do? Just try to understand yourself and see, is there any way, can you perform any single bodily, verbally, or mentally action not to get the result back? So you are so capable to do a lot of things. Just try it. How you can perform one single bodily or verbally or mentally action. That is only 3 actions we can do. Can you do not to get the feedback or not to get a counter action or not to get the result? Just simply action. There is a way. There is ability in you to do that. So try yourself slowly. So the trying means here that a practice point of view, we have to use this vocabulary. So little by little, look how you can do that. There is a way. It's like you getting a key. This is what happened. If you are able to perform one single bodily, verbally, or mentally action, not to get the result back, just only the action. It's a one way. You just do it, that's it. There's no naturally the count action going to happen. That is the day you transform you anymore. You're not going to come back to this ordinary existence. Naturally, after that, you upgrade to another level. You know, you upgrade your computer, you upgrade your cell phone softwares, you upgrade your TV, you upgrade your this cable box, this kind of, you upgrade all the machines. Once you upgrade, you can get into the older version. It is very difficult. All the files, the softwares, this everything start to function in a different way. Anymore sometimes, it's not going to accept that old things. And you may know sometimes when you email some certain kind of files, if you don't have that software, that file not going to accept it. The file cannot open. Then you have to transform it to something. You have to import it to a different version. Otherwise, you cannot do. So same thing happened to you. So then it is your personal responsibility. The conventional level of function, this version, if you are able to transform it to more higher level, then you experience it is going to be very different. But the thing is, we always, with our perception in the very basic level, we manipulate that. We already contaminated with our previous experience. So that's why we cannot merge, or we cannot harmonize with that natural process. So then little by little, you first wait, you have to come to see things as it is. Once you're able to see, then that what in the very first level, once you see with your bodily, verbally, so you with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, remember this. Once you see the perception with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, without any contaminated mind, without any tinted mind, you're going to see things as it is, perception. Once you're able to see, there is a wisdom arise you how to react or how to perform a bodily, verbally, mentally action according to that perception. That is where you can perform an action without getting any reaction. It's action, it's done. There's no way the feedback going to happen. So just imagine, how about you spend a moment, you come to a moment, you completely get out of this circular method of action, reaction, result, action, reaction, result, action, reaction, result. Once you get into a moment, just only the action, one way, no U-turn, no reaction. You release from this all the mental formations or the sanskara or the any kind of versions that you carry in your mind. So when you come to that, there is something happen. So what you start to see things even beyond your the moment of experience. But the thing is, without come to this moment of experience, don't try to get into that. Don't even imagine about it. Because we are already contaminated that our even the enlightenment, our nibbana, our transformation, we already contaminated. That we sometimes with that idea we come to practice meditation. And because of that, out of meditation, you keep close your eyes, you already set up inside your tinted mind. Out of that tinted mind, even you observe the sensation. And maybe you have a different idea about what is sensation. Maybe you have your own version of sensation. So that's why little by little, you have to listen. And when it comes to practice, you have to be honest to yourself and give your best 100%. Be truthful to yourself. Then you can. But if you have a double mind to manipulate whatever you practice, you are responsible for that. You will know one day, oh, I manipulated myself. Because that is very human nature. That is where we coming from. You know, that whatever the situation come, we always convert it and we try to make it kind of like comfortable for us. And whatever, you know, we are very kind of like we have very cunning mind. We have ability to transform anything and find the good according to that situation. We don't see ourselves, oh, this is wrong, or I'm doing wrong, like that. We somehow find a, no, this is good, like that. So that is our mind. It's like, you know, that this flat earth societies, and see what they talk about, that the earth is flat. Somehow they want to find, and they come. And then the people talk about the aliens, and somehow they find evidence to think about they are right. You know, and somehow that the people talk about the ghost, and somehow they find evidence to prove their experience is right. But when it comes to them, finally, it is the just version of our own mind. And wherever we see and whatever we look, it's a bounce back, it's a reflection of our own creation. And recently, I saw a very beautiful article regarding this Mars, and these people look for the other planets and living beings. And as you know that they send a rover to the Mars. In this article, the scientists talk about how these germs and very small molecules and living beings in this plant, in the human body, exist. And they are capable to, like germs, they are capable to develop a life. And they send the rover machine, and they found out in the NASA that they didn't clean it very well, the rover machine. They did it somehow, and they missed some certain cleaning, and there was some kind of that the germs, and maybe that some kind of certain that fungus, they send it with that fungus. And the scientists telling that means they already send the living beings to the Mars. And then by the time, what can happen, that whatever the fungus and whatever that the from here what they send there, they may create a different kind of life in that environment. So then imagine they find a bug later, within another 10 years. And then what they're going to recognize, oh, this is a bugs living in Mars. But from where it went? It went from the human world. But they recognize it from a thinking, oh, this is the living being in the Mars. So like that. This everything the same, it is a reflection of our mind. And our mind create, when it come to the mental world, the same thing happen. It's a creation of our mind, but when it bounce back, we cannot recognize it is our mind. So then always remember, mind is so capable to do this magic. So this, if you able to come to the clarity, and you will release that. So there was in a zoo, there were two camels, father and son. And it's this little camel asked from father in a zoo. Okay. So this little camel asked, father, what is this harm in our back? Oh, son, that is for us when we go in the desert and we can live for a long time. We can keep the water there. Oh, good. And then later, father, I have another question. Why our legs like this? Oh, son, it because when we walk in the sand and we can have more resistance. Oh, okay. Then again, later, father, I have another question, if you don't mind. The father told, yes. Why our eyelashes like this? Oh, son, because sometimes when we walk in the sand, this wind come with the sand tornadoes come, and to protect our eyes, that's why. So then again, this little camel, okay, now I understand. Then again ask father, if you don't mind, I have another question. Yeah, father told, yeah, ask. Father, what we doing here in this zoo? And then the father told, that is the problem with the human. You know, so that's how we manipulated the nature and everything, even ourselves. You know, we completely go in a different way of life. But when you come to this understanding and when you develop the clarity, you become like a mother. How? You go with your children to the beach, and then maybe you play with their sand castle, and you motivate them to do that, and you enjoy, and maybe you interfere with them. But when the evening come, when the sunset come, when you know that it's going to be dark sooner, and you say, okay, let's go home, and you have no any connection. Maybe the children say, no, let's play. You say, no, let's go home. See, you interfere with them and you encourage them. But when the time comes, you have capability to get out of that. So then remember, when you develop the clarity, you gain a wisdom. It's like the elephant footprint, that all the teachings, like the elephant footprint is the biggest footprint when it comes to animal world. Any animal's footprint can put it to elephant footprint. Like that, this all the teachings, the what you experience with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, with the any perception, when you have the clarity, like how the mother detach the children from the situation or enjoyment. So yourself, you have ability to understand this, everything that you experience is impermanent. Whatever you experience with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, this everything, nothing going to remain, this everything impermanent. In that level of understanding, you are capable to detach from it without holding any single thought. You just move. That is the power of you gain when you merge to the clarity. So with that, I bless upon everyone. With this good practice, may all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of happiness in this very lifetime and end of the sansaric journey. May all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabrogo vinassatu mate bhavatantarayo sukhi dika yuko bhava. Ettavatacha ammehi sampadam punya sampadam. Sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.